Okay, before we proceed sa calling out powers, power to declare martial law, at saka power to suspend the writ of privilege of habeas corpus, gusto kong ibigay sa inyo yung parang rough, no? Rough background, parang rough outline ng Section 80, no? Kailangan po ito talaga, lahat ng paragraphs alam natin kasi bawat paragraph po pwedeng pagmula ng tanong sa bar exam. Okay, so get your codals, no? Let's break down, no, yung parts nitong Section 18. So the first sentence, ito po yung calling out power ng President. Okay? The first sentence is the calling out power of the President. Okay? Yung second sentence, it's the power to declare martial law at saka power to suspend the privilege. Okay. Hindi pala per paragraph to, per sentence, no? Yung third sentence, hindi po siya masyadong important, no? For the purposes of the bar. Of course, important siya in real life, pero hindi po siya masyadong tinatanong for the purposes of the bar. Fourth sentence, no? Ito po yung act ng Congress. Pag nagkaroon ng declaration of martial law, nagkaroon ng suspension of the privilege of the writ. Okay? Tandaan natin ha. Fourth sentence, important din. Tapos yung last is the extension. Okay? Last is the extension. The extension of the Congress of the proclamation or the suspension. So tandaan natin, the first sentence is important, the calling out power. The second sentence is yung martial law, suspension of the privilege of the writ. The fourth sentence is the voting of the Congress. And the last sentence, yung fifth sentence ng first paragraph is the extension of the period. Okay tayo Yung second paragraph, not as important, no? Yung if not in session shall within 24 hours, not so much. Okay? Okay, next tayo. Third paragraph, very important. Ito naman po yung Supreme Court. Ano ang part, no? What's the duty of the Supreme Court in case there is a proclamation of martial law or suspension of the privilege of the writ? Ano ba ang kailangan gawin ng Supreme Court? Okay, that's the third paragraph. Okay, fourth paragraph tayo. Ito po yung effect ng declaration of martial law. Okay? O yung 1, 2, 3, 4. Yung fifth paragraph, no? Ito po yung application of the suspension of the privilege of the writ. And then yung last paragraph, ito po yung suspension of the privilege of the writ ulit, no? By the way, ito po palang last paragraph, meron na po itong correlation na po sa criminal procedure, no? So anyway, let's review. Tandaan natin yung first paragraph, no? 4 na sentence diyan na important. First, second, fourth, fifth. The next important sentence, paragraph for the bar is the third paragraph. Okay. And then, yung fourth, fifth, saka yung sixth, pakibasa na lang po. Actually, sa fourth, sa fifth, at saka sa sixth, yung fifth ang pinaka-important sa lahat dyan. Okay, so ulitin natin. The first paragraph, first sentence, second sentence, fourth sentence, fifth sentence. Third paragraph at saka fifth paragraph. Huwag niyo pong kakalimutan yan. Okay, sige. So, simulan natin, no? The calling out powers of the President. I will share my screen again. Ngayon po, no, dahil nabanggit ko na sa inyo yung parang basically skeleton, yung outline nung section 18, tatalon-talon na po tayo, no? So, babatuhan ko na lang kayo ng mga useful information for section 16. Okay, so ayan, the calling out power of the President, no? So ano po ang grounds para magkaroon ng calling out, para magkaroon ng valid call out, no? Ang presidente, tatlong grounds, no? Either lawless violence, rebellion, at saka invasion, no? Pag sinabi mong lawless violence, no? This is subject to the discretion of the president, no? As long as walang grave abuse of discretion, we can say na mayroong lawless violence, no? So subjective 'yan, okay? Invasion means in-invade ng one state yung Philippines, another state yung Philippines. Okay? Rebellion means yung pong rebellion as provided under the revised penal code, no? So we will tackle this eto, lagyan natin sa baba, no? Mahaba itong discussion ko dito eh. Wait lang ha. Ay, lumagpas na tayo. Okay. Lawless violence. Here it is. It is not defined by jurisprudence. This is subject to determination of the president as long as there is no grave abuse of discretion, yung lawless violence. Rebellion is committed. Ayan, rebellion or insurrection is committed by rising publicly and taking arms against the government for the purpose, napaka-important po ng purpose, no? Removing from the allegiance to the Philippines or its laws, the territory of the Republic of the Philippines, or any body of land, naval, or armed forces, or depriving the chief executive or the legislature of any of their powers or prerogatives. So yan po yung ibig sabihin ng rebellion. Also defined sa CRIM 2, no? So basically, review na lang natin to at nag-CRIM 2 na kayo before. Okay, next tayo. Tandaan natin, yung calling out power, hindi po kayo, ang sa akin lang, para sa akin, unlikely, no? Hindi naman sa impossible, pero unlikely na dito po manggagaling yung tanong kasi this is the most benign of the military powers of the president kasi this is just ordinary police action. It is limited to ordinary police action. Basically, tatawagin lang po yung armed forces para suppress or i-prevent yung lawless violence. Normally sa lawless violence to, no? Kailan to nagamit nung panahon ni PGMA? Okay. Basic lang siya, di ba? Magkapatawag ka lang ng militar para mapatigil yung lawless violence, which can be done without a calling out power, di ba? Kasi siya naman ang boss ng, ano, di ba, Armed Forces of the Philippines. Anyway, you get the point. Okay? Now, dito tayo sa next sentence, no? What are the grounds for the declaration of martial law at saka suspension of the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus? Dalawa lang. Invasion or rebellion lang. Okay? Invasion or rebellion lang. Wala pong lawless violence. Tandaan nyo ha, pag may magulo lang sa EDSA, hindi automatic pwedeng mag-martial law. Kailangan may rebellion or may invade tayo ng ibang bansa. Okay, question. The President issued Proclamation number 111 which declared martial law and suspended the privilege of the writ. Okay. Mr. A filed a petition stating that the declaration of martial law is a measure of last resort. So dapat last remedy daw yan. Thus, the extraordinary powers of the President should be dispensed or should be exercised dapat. Sequentially, what does that mean? First, dapat mag-calling out muna and then saka ka lang pwedeng mag-suspend ng privilege of the writ at saka mag-declare ng martial law. Hindi daw dapat agad rekta martial law agad saka suspension ng privilege. Okay? So, does the President, tanggalin natin to, have the discretion to choose which power he will use? The answer is yes. The President can choose kung i-avail ba niya yung calling out, declaration of martial law, or suspension of the privilege of the writ. Depende po sa kanya. Depende po sa kanya. As long as, of course, present yung grounds, di ba? Kung merong rebellion, o di kahit alin sa tatlo, pwede niyang i-avail agad-agad. Hindi kailangan calling out power muna. Next question, no? Tatalo na tayo ng konti, no? The petitioner also contended that the president had no sufficient factual basis. Wala po siyang basis daw, factual, no? Ibig sabihin ng factual, evidentiary. Wala siyang enough evidence to declare martial law since the acts of terrorism in Mindanao do not constitute rebellion, no? Hindi doon naipakita ng president that the purpose of the terrorist, di ba sabi ko nga sa inyo, how is rebellion committed? For the purpose of removing a part of land, a body of water, ganyan, Mindanao in this case, no? From its allegiance to the Republic of the Philippines. Okay? Or to deprive the chief executive, the president, or the legislature of its prerogatives or powers. Hindi doon na ipakita yon. So, is the petitioner correct? No. The petitioner is also incorrect. The Constitution only requires sufficiency of factual basis. Nakalagay po ito sa excuse me, ano ba yan? Nakalagay po yung salitang sufficiency of factual basis sa third paragraph. The Supreme Court may review in an appropriate proceeding filed by any citizen the sufficiency of the factual basis. Ang nakalagay po dyan, so medyo tumalo na tayo ng konti sa third paragraph, no? Babalik ulit tayo sa first paragraph, don't worry, tumalo lang tayo ng konti. Nakalagay dyan, the sufficiency of the factual basis. Hindi po sinabing the accuracy of the factual basis. Kung meron talagang reasonable basis, no, for declaring martial law or suspension of the privilege of the writ, even if later on na-determine na yung terrorist pala, hindi naman rebellion ang gustong gawin, no? Gusto lang manggulo ng buhay ng mga tao. Hindi rebellion yun, di ba? Hindi rin siya invasion kasi yung mga terorista naman hindi naman galing sa ibang bansa, Pilipino din. Okay. Despite that, hindi pa rin po invalid yung declaration of martial law because sufficient yung factual basis at the time of the declaration of martial law. Okay, tandaan nyo, sufficiency is not accuracy. Okay? The phrase sufficiency of factual basis should be understood as the only test for judicial. Tanggalin na natin to. Should be understood as the only test for judicial review. Okay. Accuracy is not the same as sufficiency, as the former requires a higher degree of standard accuracy. Kasi dapat tama ka talaga. To require precision in the President's appreciation of facts would unduly unburden him. Diba? And may impede yung decision making niya. Kasi sabihin natin, nagkakagulo na nga sa Mindanao, no? Masyado nang lumalaki yung acts of terrorism, tapos kailangan accurate pa. Baka mahuli ang President sa act. Next, distinguish the power of the court. No? Tumalon ulit tayo, third paragraph pa din. Distinguish the power of the court to review the sufficiency of the factual basis of the proclamation of martial law or the suspension of privilege of the writ from the power to revoke by the Congress. So tandaan natin, yung pong Congress at powers of, ito po yung checks and balances din ulit, di ba, doctrine. Pag nagdeklara ng martial law at saka or ng suspension of the privilege of the writ, yung President, pwedeng yung Congress ang tumigil dyan. Pwedeng yung Supreme Court ang tumigil dyan. Ang Congress pwedeng tumigil by voting jointly. Pwede lang patigilin yan. Di ba? Nakalagay po dyan sa first paragraph, the last sentence, yung fourth pala. Fourth sentence nakalagay dyan. The Congress voting jointly by a vote of at least majority of all its members. So both houses po, no? May revoke such proclamation or suspension which revocation shall not be set aside by the President. Sabihin natin, nagdeklara ng martial law. April 29. April 30, nagkaroon na ng botohan ang Congress. I-revoke namin yan. Pwede po yun. Kahit na within the 60-day period. Pag sinabi ng Congress na we do not like it, tapos ang usapan. Okay? On the other hand, the Supreme Court po, kailangan may petition. Okay, ulitin natin. May appropriate proceeding filed by any citizen. That's the first distinction. The Congress can act on its own instance, no? Ilay ko lang dito, no? First, no? First, the Congress can act on its own instance. Yan. While the Supreme Court can only act if there was an appropriate proceeding filed by a citizen. Second, no? The Congress can revoke, di ba, the proclamation for any reason, no? As long as the vote of majority of all its members, no, was obtained. As long as, tama ba ako? Yep, the vote of majority, at least a majority of all its members was obtained. Ayan. Meanwhile, no, the Supreme Court can revoke the proclamation if there was insufficiency of factual basis, no, on the part of the President. So, basically po, mas matindi, no? The power of the Congress is broader than the Supreme Court kasi ang Congress can act on its own instance at for any reason. Ang Supreme Court po, kailangan may appropriate proceeding pang i-final tapos ang basis lang po niya, sufficiency of factual basis lang. No, yun lang po, no? Yun lang ang dahilan, no? Okay? Third, the Congress, no, in revoking the proclamation can consider, ito pala, information and data available to the President, well, pala, sa the Supreme Court, no? in revoking the proclamation can only, ayan, consider the information and data available to the President prior to at the time of the declaration. Kasi nga de-determine lang po natin yung ah, sufficiency lang nung factual basis, 'di ba? At the time of the declaration, at the time of the proclamation, at the time of the suspension. So kung tama naman po yung ano, yung may sufficiency naman yung factual basis ng President to declare it, even if, no, a week later from the proclamation, sabihin natin wala naman palang invasion na nagaganap o wala ng invasion at all. Hindi po invalid yung o hindi po i-revoke ng Supreme Court yung proclamation ng President, 'no? Yun po yung Supreme Court, so limited talaga siya, 'no? On the other hand, ayan, ayan, the Congress, 'no, in revoking, yan, so tatlo po ang pagkakaiba, can consider the information and data available to the President prior to, at the time, and after the declaration of the President. Why? Kasi nga po sa ano, sa yung Congress for any reason, eh, 'di ba? Puwede nilang i-revoke yung proclamation. So, kahit po yung mga information na nakalap nila after the declaration na, wala naman na palang invasion 'no, at napatay na 'no, napaalis na rin yung lahat ng mga mag-i-invade agad-agad, o 'di dapat puwede na i-revoke 'yan, 'di ba? You get the point, ayan. Ayan, okey. The Congress may take into account, ayan, not only data available prior to, but likewise even supervening the declaration. Okay, so sana po get natin. Tandaan niyo, baka ito itanong sa bar, okay? Kasi ano, eh, basically kung tatanungan kayo ng two-part question 'no, masarap itanong kasi yung unang magiging tanong sa inyo, explain, distinguish, pangalawang tanong yung hypo 'no. I like if ako yung magtatanong, I would like to ask this one kasi mate-testing talaga kung binasa niyo yung provision. Okay, next, does the Constitution, may ganyan pa, tanggalin na natin 'yan. Does the Constitution require the Congress to automatically convene 'no, in the event that the President proclaims a state of martial law and/or he suspends 'no, the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus? Ano po ibig sabihin nito? Ang context po nito, dapat 'pag nagkaroon ng proclamation ngayon, the next day mag-joint session na yung Congress, 'no? Basically, sabihin natin after 1 week after ng proclamation dapat 'no, mag-joint session na sila. No, 'no? Ayusin natin 'to, let's make this simpler 'no. The Constitution does not require the Congress to perform, does not mandate, 'wag pala require, does not mandate the Congress to convene 'no. It can choose not to convene based on its discretion, 'yan ang point ko. Okey, at saka natin ipasok 'to 'no, 'yan. What do we mean by that, 'no? Ano ibig sabihin natin niyan? The Constitution does not mandate the Congress to convene. It can choose not to convene based on its discretion. What do we mean by that? At saka natin ipasok yung nasa kaso. The Congress is not constitutionally mandated to convene in joint session except to vote jointly to revoke the President's declaration or suspension. What does this mean? Kung ayaw 'no, so ito pala, dagdagan natin, if the Congress 'no, does not want to revoke the declaration, sabihin natin, of martial law or the suspension of the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus, it can choose not to convene. Yan ang point ko. Kung ayaw nilang i-revoke, kung sang-ayon ang Kongreso sa proklamasyon ng martial law, hindi po sila kailangang mag-convene at all. Tahimik lang sila. Okay? Why? Kasi po, by after the expiration of 60 days from the proclamation, stop na rin naman yung ano, eh, get? Sabihin natin 60 days, o wala namang sinabi yung Congress at all, automatic tapos na yung martial law. The Congress does not mandate actually ayokong masyadong maging informal, pero ang sasabihin ko talaga dito, no, the Constitution does not mandate the Congress to act at all. It does not have to act at all. It does not have to act at all. It can choose to do nothing. Okay, pero dahil tayo mas gagawin nating mas legalist, it can choose not to convene based on its own discretion. Okay? If the Congress does not want to revoke the declaration of martial law or the suspension of the privilege of the writ, it can choose not to convene. Yun ang point ko. Okay, so na-get na natin yan, no? So, kailan lang po sila, no? They only have to, the Congress, ayan, dagdagan natin ito. The Congress only has to convene, has to only convene, yan. If they desire, di ba? Or if they choose to revoke the declaration of martial law. Or kung ayaw nilang i-revoke, sang-ayon naman sila, o di walang convene, no? Pahinga lang. Okay? Okay. Yan. Okay tayo, ha? Letter C na lang natin to. Dagdag natin yan nasa... Okay. Okay. So yan. Ganyan po. No? Ayos tayo dyan. Next. Okay. Natakal na natin to. We're good there. We move to the next topic. Okay. The calling out power is exclusive to the president. So ano po ang connotation, ano po ang context nito? Hindi pwede si governor ang mag-calling out. Wala siyang power, no? Local government unit lang po yan, no? Hindi pwede. Okay, hingi siya ng tulong sa president, no? And the president will call out for him. Pwede yun. Pero dapat hindi po rekta na si governor ang gagawa. Hingi siya ng tulong kay president and the president will call out the military papunta sa probinsya niya. Yan. Okay? Okay, next tayo, no? Is the president's calling out power, no? A political question. So basically, yun daw bang power ng president to call out the armed forces in case of lawless violence, invasion, rebellion, subject ba siya to judicial review or political question siya? So general rule is political question, di ba? Kasi nga, this is solely vested to the wisdom of the president. However, di ba, if there was grave abuse of discretion, yan na nga yun, alam naman natin yan, judicial power, di ba? Pwede siyang maging subject ng judicial review. Ito po ang gusto kong tandaan nyo, no? Tandaan nyo po, the power to call out the armed forces is a political question. Okay? Kasi nakalagay po yan sa IBP versus Zamora 2000 case, no? Pero tandaan nyo po, yung power to declare martial law and to suspend the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus, justiciable questions po sila. Bakit? Kasi nga nasa 1, 2, 3. Third paragraph ulit ng section 18. Nakalagay po dyan. Tingnan nyo ganito po katindi ang pag-analyze nitong provision na to sa Constitution talaga. Pabalik-balik lang tayo dun sa pinaka-provisions themselves, no? The Supreme Court may review in an appropriate proceeding ulit, blah, 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 the factual basis of the proclamation of martial law or the suspension of the privilege of the writ or the extension thereof. So that means justiciable po siya. Yung pong third paragraph ng Section 18, hindi po kasali dyan yung calling out power. Ang nakalagay lang po dyan, martial law at saka yung privilege of the writ, di ba? So that means yung second at saka yung third power ng president, justiciable. Hindi po siya political. Kahit walang grave abuse of discretion, pwede talagang suriin, pwede talagang gawa ng ruling ng decision ng Supreme Court. Okay? Yung pong calling out power, hindi minention dyan. So, gagamitin po natin for that is IBP versus Zamora. Wisdom yan, political question. Pwede lang pong i-revoke, i-annul ang yung exercise of the power to call up the armed forces if may grave abuse. Pag martial law, at saka yung suspension of the privilege of the writ, kahit walang grave abuse. Kasi justiciable siya. Pag mali, no? If hindi sufficient ang factual basis, pwede talagang i-revoke ng Supreme Court. Sana po malinaw. Di ba? Ganun lang, no? Balik-balik lang tayo, no? Along with the calling out power, is there a power to declare the state of rebellion? No. Basically, ang context po dito kailangan daw pa mag-declare muna ng state of rebellion bago magkaroon ng calling out. No. Why? Ayan. Declaration of state of rebellion is not necessary to exercise the calling out power. Why? The Constitution already authorized the President to exercise his calling out power once there is rebellion. 'Di ba? Hindi po sinabi sa Section 18 na magkaroon muna dapat ng state of rebellion, declaration of the state of rebellion at saka lang mag-calling out. Nakalagay po talaga diyan mismo, once na-determine mo ng may rebellion na, matik na puwede ka na mag-calling out. 'Yun lang po ang point. Okay, now let's go to suspension of the privilege of the writ. Pakibasa na lang 'to kasi remedial law, nilagay ko lang dito 'no. So, what does it mean 'no, that only the privilege of the writ is suspended and not the writ itself? Ano po ba ang pagkakaiba nung dalawa? Okay. Eto pong ibig sabihin niyan 'no, tandaan niyo po ang suspend lang po under the Constitution is the privilege of the writ. The writ itself cannot be suspended by the President. So ano po ba ang pagkakaiba ng writ at saka privilege of the writ para malinaw? Eto nakalagay ito sa spec pro reviewer natin pero mas maganda pala siyang topic sa political law. Hindi siya masyado feel kong mata-tackle sa remedial law kasi medyo na-touch na ni political law kung matatanong kayo sa remedial law lang talaga na mga topics like habeas data, mga gano'n na lang kayo tatanungin diyan. Okay. So the writ of habeas corpus is a process that is tantamount to a summons. Okay? So in other words, the writ commands the production of the body of the person allegedly restrained of liberty. Okay. The privilege of the writ is issued to enforce the court's decision on the merits finding the restraint illegal and directing the release from custody of the detained individual. So sabihin natin, ang isang tao nag-file ng petition for writ of habeas corpus. Gawa natin ng example muna pala dito. Example, no? Petitioner A, no? Filed a petition for writ of habeas corpus. Okay. With the RTC of, sabihin natin, Makati City, no? The RTC judge will issue the writ. Yan. Thus, the body of the person that was allegedly restrained of liberty must be produced in court. Okay. However, no, since the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus was suspended, no, the court will be suspended from determining the legality, okay, of the restraint and determining whether the person must be released from the custody of the respondent. Yan, ganda. Okay? Tandaan nyo ha, pag nag-file po, yan po ibig sabihin yung privilege of the writ, no? Pag po nag-file ang isang tao ng petition for writ of habeas corpus, kailangan talaga ipakita mo yung tao palagi in court. Pag nag-issue ng writ yung court, yung judge. However, ang suspend lang po yung determination of the legality. O naipakita, o sige buhay pa, healthy, hindi po bugbog sarado, okay. Pero stop tayo dun, yun ang point. Yung paglaya ng tao, yung determination ng legality, siyempre 'pag illegal yung restraint sa liberty niya, papalayain. Yung pong pag-determine ng paglaya ng tao, no muna. Pero dapat nakita natin kung buhay ba yan o nawawala na yan. Okay? I hope you get the point. Yun po ang point ng suspension of the privilege of the writ. Okay. So, kanino lang po ba dapat limited, no? Ang 'pag nag-suspend ba ng privilege of the writ, lahat ng crimes, murder, rape, homicide, lahat ba covered niyan, kidnapping, carnapping? No, no? The suspension of the privilege of the writ shall only apply to persons charged for rebellion or offenses inherently in or directly connected with the invasion. Sabihin natin, murder, directly connected sa invasion. Bakit? Pinatay yung Pilipino ng banyaga o di na-file ng siyempre kaya niya pinatay yung Pilipino para i-invade yung Philippines. O de suspended yung privilege of the writ niya. Ipoproduce siya sa court, commanding yung ipoproduce siya sa court, no? Iko-command ng judge na i-present yung body niya sa court, pero yung legality nung arrest niya, nung restraint niya, nung detention niya, hindi ide-determine. Okay, lalagyan natin dito ba? Okay, note, no? If the person, yan, was charged with, sabihin natin, robbery, and robbery and his acts, no? And this is not inherent in, no? Or directly connected with the invasion, yan, example pala. The persons, no? Ano ba? The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus cannot be suspended as to this person. Yan. Diba? Thus, despite the suspension, no, of the privilege of the writ, the person's body must be produced in court, no? Kasi nga, yun yung writ. And the legality of his arrest must be determined. O yan, di ba? Nadali. Yun po ibig sabihin yan. Okay, ngayon, di naman po automatic na pag sinabi mong dinetermine yung legality of the arrest, automatic na illegal. Of course, titingnan natin. Kasi paano kung meron naman talagang probable cause for arresting this person? Di, walang problema. Di ba? For charging this person with robbery, with the crime of robbery. Robbery with homicide, sabihin natin. Ayan, sabihin natin. Okay. Sana po get nyo, no? So, note, no? In short, no? To make it simpler, in short, no? The writ can never be, the issuance of the writ, yan, can never be suspended. Yan. Whether, regardless of the criminal acts of the, regardless, wag ng criminal acts, regardless of the acts of the person detained. Ayan. However, the privilege of the writ, yan, can be suspended if, ayan na nga tayo, if the person was charged with rebellion or the offense, no, yan, that he committed was inherent in, ayan, if, ayan, with invasion, with the invasion. If his offense, no, was not inherent in or directly connected with the invasion, the privilege of the writ will not be suspended or cannot be suspended as to him. Something like that, no? To simplify everything, no? Sa lahat ng mga tinakil natin. Okay. Ngayon, sabihin natin, ayan, during the suspension of privilege of the writ, sabihin natin, rebellion ang charge sa kanya. He must be charged within 3 days. Otherwise, he shall be released. Ano po ang dahilan? Kasi pag hindi mo ni-release yan agad, magkakaroon tayo ng exposure for Article 125, Revised Penal Code. Pwedeng makasuhan yung police, di ba? Delay in the delivery, di ba? Of persons detained to proper judicial authorities, no? Note, no? In case, no, the law enforcement officers, no, fail to, ano ba? Fail to do so na lang. They may be, uh, uh, they will be liable, yan. They will be criminally liable under Article 125 of the Revised Penal Code. Something like that. Yan po yung parang basically ipin, no? Yung pangil ng last paragraph ng Section 18, Article 7, no? In connection to Revised Penal Code. Pag di nyo chinarge niya within 3 days, may exposure kayo, Article 125 of the Revised Penal Code. Okay, correlation to the right to bail, no? Tandaan natin, the right to bail shall not be impaired even when the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus is suspended. So ano po ibig sabihin nito? Sabihin natin, yung offense niya is directly connected to the invasion, pero yung offense na kinumit niya, theft. Theft is bailable kahit anong gawin natin, kahit na connected siya sa invasion. So with that, sabihin natin, gawa tayo ng example, no? Naku, masyado na mahirap 'to, pinahirapan ko na. Sige anyway, dagdag na natin. Ito lang, gagawin ko lang example dito 'no, ito. Example, Mr. A committed the crime of theft. The crime was, directly connected. Sabihin natin ang ninakaw niya kasi, ah, baril 'no, para maipagpatuloy yung pag-invade sa Philippines. Directly connected to the invasion of the Philippines 'no. At the time of the incident 'no, the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus was suspended by the President. Can Mr. A 'no, be released on bail? Yes 'no. So basically po, hindi made-determine yung at that time hindi po suspended yung suspended yung determination 'di ba, of the legality of the arrest, kung tama man na inaresto siya o hindi, suspended. However, he can be released on bail, yes, because the crime of theft is bailable, no? And the right to bail, ayan, shall not be impaired. Ito disregard muna natin 'tong mga sinulat ko na 'to iba 'no, masyado na siyang kasi 'to ginawa ko 'to nung ano talaga ano, for myself din kasi 'no. 'Yun naman ang ganda sa reviewer ko talaga, I did this not only for you but for myself din. Kaya lang eto medyo pinahirapan ko na ata yung sarili ko at that time, nag-overthink na ako, so wag muna natin i-discuss. Okey? So, nature of the declaration of martial law by the president 'no, ano effects 'pag nagkaroon ng martial law? There can be arrests and seizures without judicial warrants. There can be ban on public assemblies. There can be takeover of news media and agencies and press censorship and issuance of presidential decrees. Anyway, di naman na siguro sa inyo itatanong 'to 'no. Okey. Presidential decrees 'no, are powers 'no, which can be exercised, the issuance 'no, the power to issue. Naglalag na yung ano ko, the power to issue presidential decrees, ayan, is a power, yan, which can be exercised by the president. Okey. Scope of proclamation of martial law 'no, a state of martial law does not suspend the operation of the constitution, may constitution pa din. It does not supplant the courts. It does not supplant the Congress. Legislative assemblies means the Congress. It does not authorize the conferment of jurisdiction on military courts and agencies over civilians where civil courts are able to function. So kung may civil courts pa nga, if meron pang RTC, MTC, Court of Appeals 'no, Supreme Court, hindi dapat ilitis ang kaso ng civilian sa court martial, nor does it automatically suspend the privilege of the writ. So that means kung hindi porket nag-proclaim ng martial law, wala na ring privilege of the writ, suspended na ring privilege of the writ, to get the point. In short, ayan 'no, nilagay ko dito. Okey. Anyway, mahaba itong kinuha ko na 'to 'no, kinuha ko 'to, excerpt to from the case of Olaguer versus Military Commission number 34. Ang point lang po niyan is yung mga civilian sa RTC, sa MTC dun pa rin sila, ililitigate 'no, kung nagkaroon sila ng kaso hindi po sa military courts, yun lang yun. So, ang masa-subject lang po sa military courts yung Armed Forces of the Philippines. Okey. Court martial does not apply to the members of the PNP. Tandaan niyo why? Kasi hindi naman po Armed Forces of the Philippines ang PNP. Hindi po 'yan covered ng AFP. Ang ano po, ang AFP yung Air Force, Navy at saka well, yung military 'no, Philippine military. Okey? Sige, ayan masyado pong mahaba. Ayan 'no, okey? So PNP po, regular courts. Okey, same thing. So grounds for the suspension, get niyo na 'yan, invasion, rebellion. Okey. The recommendation of the defense secretary is not a condition. Malamang. Why? Ano po ang reason? Alter ego doctrine. Ba't kailangan ng certification ng defense secretary, subordinate lang ng presidente 'yan. 'Pag sinabi ng presidente na magdedeklara tayo ng martial law, ano ang kailangang recommendation ng defense secretary, 'di ba? Okey? Wala din pong nakasulat na defense secretary sa section 18. So, dapat hindi po natin i-require yung recommendation ng defense secretary. Walang nakasulat diyan, 'di ba? So, what are the 4 limitations 'no? Ito talaga basically ang nangyari dito, basta paikot-ikot na lang tayo 'no, hanggang sa ma-master niyo talaga. Yan ang point ko sa Section 18. Lahat ng pwedeng ibato, ibabato natin. So what are the limitations, no? Dito sa suspension of the privilege of the writ at saka sa declaration of martial law, 4, 60 days lang siya. And ito po yung hindi kailangan ding isang limitation pero di naman natatanong sa bar, the president must report, 'di ba, to the Congress. Next, this is subject to the revocation of the Congress and this is subject to the nullification review of the Supreme Court, no? Okay, o ganyan. Or, okay. So the provision is clear, no? It states that the president may, for a period not exceeding 60 days, suspend the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus or suspend or declare martial law. Ngayon, yung ba 60 days, pag nag-declare president, dapat daw 60 days talaga yung ibibigay sa kanya? No. Ulitin ko, if sa 10th day, sabi ng Congress, ayaw na namin ng martial law na yan, pwedeng i-revoke. Kasi nakalagay po sa Section 80, wala naman sinabing i-exhaust yung 60 days eh. Sabi lang, period not exceeding 60 days. Ilalagay natin dito ha. Further, the 60-day period, no, does not have to be exhausted. Yan. The provision states not exceeding 60 days, no? Thus, it can be for a shorter period. It can be the suspension or the declaration, yan, can be for a shorter period, no? Such as when the Congress revokes, yan, the suspension or the declaration on the 15th day, on its 15th day, di ba? Or sabi ng president, ayaw ko na. Pwede rin naman 'yun. Pero that's not a good bar question, di ba? Hindi gano'n. Ano issue pag gano'n, di ba? Ano itatanong sa inyo kung yung presidente mismo nagsabi, ayaw ko na ng martial law? Ano pa itatanong sa inyo? So kung magkakaroon po ng tanong sa bar question, ang tanong diyan, nag-declare yung presidente, ni-revoke ng Congress, valid ba o hindi? O yan ang mga ganyan ang tanungan sa inyo, di ba? So you get the point. Okay, duty to report to Congress, get nyo na yan. Yung review revocation ng Congress, so ulitin natin, no? I-discuss natin. Pag sinabing voting jointly, no? Ay, wait, ulit natin. It is worth it to stress that the provision does not actually refer to a joint session, no? While it may be conceded that the phrase voting jointly shall already be understood to mean that the joint voting will be done in a joint session, no? Okay, hindi yan. Tama, okay. Tama, tama. Delete na lang 'to, nagpalito pa. Ito lang yung point ko kanina, no? The Congress is only required to vote jointly if gusto nilang i-revoke yung proklamasyon o suspension ng presidente. Kung ayaw nila, hindi nila kailangang mag-vote jointly. They don't have to do anything. Yun lang ang point ko. They don't have to do anything at all. Okay, so natakil na natin yan, no? Hence, when the Congress approves, ayan, adheres, accepts the proclamation of suspension, it does not have to convene or vote. It can choose to do nothing. Okay. So, tandaan nyo, pag sinabing voting jointly, in the same session, no? In the same session, but voting separately pa din. Why? Kasi hindi natin pwedeng ipag-merge yan. Pag pinag-merge mo, patay, no? Kasi madadilute po yung um, number ng Senate, no? That's not the intention of the framers, no? Pag sinabing voting jointly, automatic pagko-combine mo yung numero ng Congress at saka ng Senate. Hindi po ganun. Okay? Majority of all its members, what does this mean? 13 out of the 24 must vote to approve or revoke. Okay. If sabihin natin, 12 out of 24, majority of the members constituting the quorum is insufficient, dapat majority of all its members. So, hence, 13 out of 24 senators must vote to revoke. Yan. The proclamation or suspension. Kaya mo na itong sa, I'm not sure kung 304 pa ngayon. Delete na natin to. Thus, no? If 12 out of the 24 senators, if only voted, no, to revoke the proclamation or suspension, the proclamation or suspension will subsist, no, up to 60 days. Yan. Kasi hindi majority. No? Pag hindi naka-obtain ng majority ang Senate, sabihin natin 12 lang out of 24. That's not majority, that's 50-50. Ibig sabihin 12 diyan revoke, 12 diyan agree, 'di ba? Basically approve. Oh. Wala. Mai-exhaust po ng president yung buong 60-day period. Yun ang point. Okay? Pag 13 out of 24, revoke agad yan kahit na on the 10th day, di ba? And the revocation shall not be set aside by the president. Kasi what's the point, di ba? Kung yung revocation ng Congress, ma-set aside din ng president. Walang gamit yan, di ba? Okay. Next tayo, ayan, no, the Supreme Court may review in an appropriate proceeding. Itatakal ko na lahat. What does in an appropriate proceeding mean? Any kind of proceeding. Petition, complaint, action, kahit anong ilagay dyan, basta proceeding. Okay. The Supreme Court can now act. Di ba? Dun sa sufficiency of the factual basis ng proclamation of suspension filed by any citizen, kahit sinong citizen ng Philippines. Pwede. Okay? Kahit sino. Okay? Ibig po sabihin, relaxed yung locus standi. No, relax yung ruling ng relax yung locus standi para dito sa section na to. What does that mean? 'Di ba ang nagkaroon po ng martial law recently sa Mindanao? Yung bang taga Luzon na Pilipino pwedeng mag-file ng petition? Yes. Any citizen eh. Kahit na naapektuhan lang po ng martial law Mindanao o Visayas lang. Luzon people can file as long as they are citizens of the Philippines. Resident alien, di pwede. Okay? This is a justiciable question. Ulitin ko yung pong calling out power, political, ito pong privilege of the writ, suspension, at saka yung declaration of martial law, justiciable. Okay? Next tayo. This is, well yan, sui generis, no, nag-iisa talaga siya, no? Kasi normally, no, as a general rule, di ba, lahat po ng pinapal sa Supreme Court ng mga constitutional issues, kailangan mag-comply dun sa four requisites of judicial review, 'di ba? Actual case or controversy, locus standi, earliest possible opportunity at saka lis mota, 'di ba? Ito po sui generis to. Judicial review under section 18 is sui generis. It is different from article 8. Under the third paragraph nakalagay diyan, a petition filed pursuant therewith will follow a different rule as any citizen may file it. In article 8, locus standi applies, no? Tapos po sa Article 8, grave abuse of discretion, 'di ba? On the part of any branch of the government or instrumentality of the government. Dito po sufficiency of the factual basis. So factual in nature siya. Hindi legal, no? Hindi grave abuse, but factual. Basically titingnan natin yung ebidensya. It is evidentiary in nature. Hindi siya legal, hindi siya grave abuse. Okay. Ngayon po, the usual period for the filing, no, is likewise that petition for certiorari, no? Not applicable. Considering that the limited period, okay, no? Kasi nga pala, may 60-day period lang yung martial law. Yun ay pinaka-important yung first to dito. Ay, di pala. Nalito. Considering the limited period within which this court has to promulgate its decision. Okay. The usual period for filing pleadings in petition for certiorari, yung mga 60-day period under Rule 65, hindi siya nag-a-apply. Yun lang yun. Pero more on remedial law na yan. Hindi siya for political law. You get the point, no? Okay. Next. In short, ayan, tatlo. Okay, sufficiency of the factual basis, no? Hindi grave abuse. The court does not need to satisfy itself that the president's decision is correct. It only needs to determine if the president's decision had sufficient factual basis, no? Basis. In other words, the court has to determine if if the factual basis was, factual basis, basis was sufficient and not necessarily and not accurate. It does not have to be accurate. Okay. So, in other words, no? How can we say that there was sufficiency of factual basis? Ito, i-bold letters ko to. Probable cause. No? Meron na, napakahilig natin sa probable cause sa Pilipinas, no? Aba, no? Tatlo. May rebellion, may invasion, no? May public safety requires it. Ito pong pangalawa, malabang. Ito parang dinaan niya. Siyempre, pag may rebellion o invasion, public safety requires it, di ba? And there is probable cause, no? Para pa-determine natin sufficiency of factual basis, no? In other words, no, magkakaroon ng sufficient factual basis if there was probable cause on the part of the president to believe that there is actual rebellion or invasion. Accuracy is not Important. Now, the power of judicial review does not extend to calibrating the President's decision pertaining to which extraordinary power to avail. Ibig po sabihin nito, hindi pwedeng pakialaman ng Supreme Court kung ano ba dapat power ang in-exercise ng President. Hindi pwedeng sabihin ng Supreme Court na, so dapat nag-calling out power ka lang. Hindi ganun. The President has the choice. Which power will he invoke? And then the Supreme Court will just determine if warranted ba yung exercise of this power or not. No, hindi niya pwedeng i-encroach kasi violation of the doctrine of separation of powers diyan kung ano yung choice ni President, no? Okay tayo diyan. So sabihin natin ganito, the Supreme Court found that uh, there was no actual rebellion or invasion in the Philippines. Instead, it found that there was lawless violence in the Philippines. Thus, the Supreme Court, no, orders the calling out of the armed forces of the Philippines, no, and sets aside the declaration of martial law and suspension of the privilege of writ of habeas corpus of the President. Pwede ba yun? No. No, hindi pwede yun, no? Kung wala talagang rebellion or invasion, iset aside lang natin um, yung martial law, declaration of martial law, saka suspension of the privilege of the writ. Walang calling out power na i-order mo, i-grant. Okay? Okay, patapos na tayo dito sa section 18, no? Ito na po tayo sa extension. How can the period be extended, no? So, merong kailangang ah, tatlong requisites, no? So, may ilang requisites? Di pala. 4 requisites. Ililinis na lang po namin 'to pag binigay ni reviewer sa inyo. For the valid extension of the declaration of martial law and suspension of the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus. Dalag. Corpus. First, initiative of the President. So, dapat magsisimula, no? Manggagaling sa Presidente, susulat sa Congress that he intends to extend, okay? The declaration or the suspension. 2, the Congress, no, will extend. Yeah. 3, the Congress, no, voting jointly, no. 6 pala, 6 requisites. Yan. 6 requisites, no? Una, there must be initiative from the President. Next, the Congress is the branch that has the power to extend the proclamation or the suspension. Next, ito, no, tandaan nyo ito, 'di ba kanina, to revoke yung declaration ng President, kailangan voting jointly and majority of all the members of the Senate at saka ng Congress voted to revoke. Basically, dapat 13 out of 24 revoke tayo. Kapag 12 out of 24 lang, makukuha talaga ng President yung buong 60-day period. Get? Pag 12 out of 24. Okay. Ngayon, paano kung mag-e-extend? Ganun din. The Congress voting jointly can extend the same by at least a majority vote of all its members in a regular or special session. What does this mean? Sabihin natin 12 out of 24 ulit. 12 out of 24 senators vote to extend. the declaration or suspension, what will happen? Hindi na po mag-e-extend yan. Kasi hindi natin nakuha yung majority. So, parang ano siya, the same way. Kanina, hindi tayo naka-majority, hindi mo pwedeng i-revoke. Ngayon, hindi ka naka-majority, hindi mo pwedeng i-extend. Yan, ganda, di ba? Next, the period of extension does not have to be 60 days. It can be shorter or longer than that as determined by Congress. Nakalagay, no? So, pwedeng 1 year, just like what happened do sa martial law sa Mindanao before, no? Yung nag-extension, mahaba talaga. The invasion or rebellion persists and public safety still requires it. So, lagyan natin ng example muna dito, no? 13 out of 24 senators voted, no, to extend the declaration of martial law. If the declaration of martial law will be extended, yeah. If only 12 will not be extended, no? Okay, so kanina, if 13 out of 24 voted to revoke, the declaration will be revoked. Okay. Ngayon, di ba? 13 out of 24 nag-vote to revoke, okay, revoke yan. Pag 12 out of 24 lang, hindi revoke, makaka 60 days. O ngayon naman, if 13 out of 24 voted to extend, may extend. If only 12 out of 24 voted to extend, hindi ma-extend. Okay. So the Congress has the power to extend and determine the period of martial law. Kasi nakalagay dyan, as determined by the Congress. For a period to be determined by the Congress, no? For a, okay, yan. Pwedeng mas mahaba pa kasi di naman sinabi na 60 days lang eh, no? Talagang dapat ano tayo, masuri sa provision talaga. Okay? Doon lang po nagkakatalo, no? Sa Consti 1 talaga. Master of the Caudal. Ayan. Okay. Last topic, does the martial law grant the president additional powers? No, the martial law does not grant the president additional powers. Emergency, ba't ba additional kasi? Emergency powers. Ayan. Malamang nag-grant na ng additional powers and at may power nga to issue presidential decrees eh, di ba? Anyway, so yan, emergency powers are only available when granted by Congress as provided under Section 23, Article 6, di ba? Ang complement dyan, yung Article 12, di ba? Yung power to take over public utility, privately owned public utilities and businesses, private businesses affected with the public interest or imbued with public interest. Okay. Next video po natin, executive clemency na tayo, yung power to grant reprieves, pardons, and so on.